Inside Racing is brought to you by Dunlop. Welcome back to Inside Racing. Coming up, become part of the legend. But first, in faces, Alex Wurz and his Le Mans. Alexander Wurz. Born 1974, a chip off the old block. Father Franz smoothed the way, and he decided to take it.
I grew up at racetracks as my father moved from one rallycross meeting to the next. As a boy, I experienced it all with him. He was an extremely successful and disciplined driver, and I simply saw it all. So for me, that was the normal world.
Für mich ist das dann so die normale Welt gewesen.
Age 22, the breakthrough that caught the eye. The youngest ever winner at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. His talent opened the door to opportunity. Without the Le Mans victory, Flavio Briatore, then of the Renault team, would never have invited me to a Formula One trial, and I would then simply have not got into Formula One, because I didn't have any money or sponsors. I had to simply make my case for a place in Formula One with results and lap times, and in that respect, the 1996 Le Mans win was for me the key to success. He was part of the F1 circus for 12 years. His career began well at Benetton Renault, but then dipped. He and Briatore went their separate ways. At McLaren, he was test driver, developer and first reserve. He did valuable, meticulous work. In 2006, Frank Williams took him on, and in 2007 came his long-yearned-for comeback as a driver. But in the self-same year, he retired. The birth of his third son took priority. A new start in 2008, and for Honda F1, he clearly did a great job as test driver. For a year later, the same team under a different name, and without him, won the title. Then, back to his roots. The year 2009, he shows his true talents. Driving skill coupled with technical expertise. The 77th Le Mans race. The car, superb. The team, Wurz, Brabham and Genet. Peugeot ends Audi's winning run. The goal achieved. For me personally, to win here is something very special, and then to win in France with Peugeot against extremely hard competition is really cool. In 2011, he hopes to do it again. I've now taken part at Le Mans 4 times. I've led in all 4 races, won twice, and twice unfortunately had to retire or got held back due to technical problems. So I hope that the car holds out. To win the race would be an absolute dream, and it's the ultimate goal for the season. Focusing on the right second, a counterbalance for the smart surfer, hanging loose, letting the spirit free. He calls this active meditation, with his mind solely on the matter in hand.
I really love to hang out on the beach, waiting for the wind, kite surfing, because it's kind of an ultimate feeling of freedom.
Wurz, a family man, married with 3 sons. Are they to follow in the footsteps of father and grandfather? I hope that my children will find their own way in life. I don't want to force anything onto them, but I'd really have to think hard about it if you were to say to me that my sons wanted to be racing drivers. However, if they really wanted to do that, naturally I'd support them. Alexander Wurz, his normal life, a challenging race. It's now 20 years already that he's been chasing around the circuits of this world. In Legends, race, we take you with us to the Technoclassica. But first, the Dunlop Livery Competition 2011. A racing car with no identity. Wanted, the hottest paint job. Budding designers, car freaks and motorsport fans can submit their designs. The Ferrari 458 Italia GT Racing gets the right look for Le Mans 2011. The prize, a visit to the classic 24-hour race with your design joining in on the car. In 2010, Thierry Bertrand wins the contest. Flashback. His livery is launched. In the thick of it all, he explains his design to the drivers.
I wanted to do something fluid.
Okay, yeah.
Which, to do something asymmetric. Is it the right word?
Yeah.
People can see two cars in one.
A childhood dream comes true, from spectator to active participant. Millions of fans follow the eye-catching car round the circuit. Of course, I think the circuit's superb. Perhaps I'm a bit ultra-patriotic because I come from Le Mans. Unfortunately, I don't live here anymore, but it's where I was born, and so the 24-hour race is very close to my heart. I grew up with it. Now, he's making his mark on the Le Mans legend. I love the 24-hour race. It's part of my childhood. Sitting in the stands, I've often daydreamed as I've watched the cars. And this one, a little bit of it, is my car. Victorious Thierry, the beaming winner of the 2010 livery competition. All that's missing is the victory photo. Wanted, the hottest Le Mans livery. The 24-hour race, to be stage and premiere. Let your creativity run free, or simply vote for your favorite. Find out more at www.livery-competition.dunlop.eu. Everything a heart desires at the Technoclassica. Inside Racing visits the world's largest classic car show in Essen. Legends, lifestyle, luxury. In short, Technoclassica, the world's biggest classic car show. 180,000 car enthusiasts make the pilgrimage to Essen. For those with an interest in this area, it has an incredible fascination. It's an incredible spectacle that you don't find anywhere else in the world. The Technoclassica is probably the world's largest classic car show, and in terms of standard, also the best. Like the cars, the visitors too have also come a fair way. A few of the time travelers. We're from the Basque Country.
I live in Norway.
I'm from Ireland.
Hi, I came from South Africa.
Quite a performance, gents, and the show is indeed also about performance cars. This is Porsche's first ever racing car, a two-seater lattice tube frame 550 Spider, made famous of course by James Dean's tragic accident. This car, in which I'm fortunate enough to be sitting, though only because I'm involved with it professionally, is the car that Joseph Jesser drove in 1955 in the 24 Hours of Le Mans, with great success, coming fourth overall and first in its class. Around 1,200 exhibitors attended the Essen show, hoping to find the right clientele with the necessary cash. The classic car market is booming. Every year there's another $1,000 millionaires, and every year the number of billionaires in the world rises by 20%. The effect of all that is that there are ever more beautiful, rare and expensive cars, which are all later worth even more and thus become excellent investments. The trick therefore is only to buy the best. Visitors who don't want to buy a complete car just yet also find here even the tiniest accessories. Classic cars, not just a hobby, more a lifelong challenge.
Everything from
finding an old shabby car that needs restoration, the process of maintaining it, restoring it, and the fulfillment joy of seeing it finished on the road, and the joy of riding it, of course. And once you finish one car, you start searching for your next project, and it's a very rewarding hobby, I must say.
And then it all begins again from the start, ideally with restoration, so that you can get plenty of pleasure from your newest old treasure. Restoration is bringing the original back to life. You can see the original now in the background with a 356 split window. That means the front windscreen is in two parts. The split window was one of the first 356 models from 1951. One of the first cars to be made in Stuttgart. The previous cars were still produced in Gmünd in Austria. From the circuit onto the road and back again, always authentic, from the spark plugs to the tires, as is the case too in the historic FHR Endurance Cup. The vehicles from pre-1966, for example, run on tires with the original tread profile from that era, and the original tire compound from that time too. They come from Dunlop, and you can always also tell that on the circuit, whenever these lovely old vehicles also have the old tire profile, that's then these Dunlop racing tires, which thankfully are still being made today. A big playground paradise for somewhat older boys.